Mini Makes. My name is Callie, and today I am so excited to share with you my pumpkin muffins that have a streusel crumb topping. So this recipe is so delicious. It is very, very simple, and right now we are in the thick of autumn and fall and all things pumpkin and apple. And if you are like me and love this time of year, then this recipe is right up your alley, I promise you. But before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's go over the ingredients. We have some brown sugar, granulated sugar. I have a little bit of orange zest, all-purpose flour, some cinnamon, what do I have here? Allspice, nutmeg, any kind of warm pumpkin pie spices will do. I have a little bit of pure pumpkin puree, a couple of eggs, a little bit of buttermilk, vegetable or canola oil, any kind of neutral oil will do, vanilla, salt, and then of course we have our crumb, streusel, whatever you want to call it, toppings that I will introduce to you when the time comes. But this is what we're going to be using for now. So let's get to it. First things first, go ahead and make sure your oven is nice and hot and preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, because like I said, this will not take long at all. And the first thing we're gonna do is just combine all of our dry ingredients. I'm just adding salt right now, and just give them a whisk to combine. Okay, this looks good. So let's set this aside, and now we're gonna work on our wet ingredients, which does include both types of sugar, a little bit of orange zest. The orange zest is optional, however, I like it. I think that just a little bit of brightness in this recipe just kind of makes, like pops all the flavors a little bit, and I like it. And also citrus is in season depending on when you make this recipe in the winter months. And so next up, I don't know why I'm grabbing that. We're gonna add in a couple of eggs, and now I'm just gonna give these a stir with my whisk to combine. Okay, this is looking good. So next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my vegetable oil. And you know, just from the vegetable oil, the buttermilk going into this recipe, that these muffins are gonna be incredibly, incredibly moist. The texture is just as important as the flavor when you're baking. And so those two ingredients are just, you know, the best at making any dessert incredibly, incredibly moist. And also the pure pumpkin puree, which is obviously added because these are pumpkin muffins, but that also adds a lot of moisture to this recipe. So I'm gonna keep stirring this until it's nice and combined. Okay, so I'm gonna add in my vanilla along with my pure pumpkin puree. Okay, this is ready to go. So let's just finish this off with our dry ingredients along with our buttermilk. And then we're gonna give this a stir just to combine and then stop. You do not wanna overmix any baked good that has flour in it, because what that does is activate the gluten, which is gonna result in these muffins being really kind of tough. And like I said, the texture is just as important as the flavor. So just stir until combined. Okay, this looks great. So before we continue, I'm just gonna switch over to my spatula and give this a stir and scrape the bottom and the sides of the bowl just to ensure that everything is nice and well incorporated. And so now I'm just gonna clean up a little bit and grab the remainder of our ingredients. Okay, and so for the streusel topping, all we're gonna need is a little bit of all-purpose flour, a couple of spices. I'm using cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, granulated sugar, a small pinch of salt, and here I have some melted butter. And so all we're gonna do, well, first off, we're gonna just stir our dry ingredients just roughly to combine. It's okay if there's still some clumps of brown sugar and flour. Don't worry about that. We actually kind of want to keep it somewhat clumpy. Okay, and so next we're just gonna add in our melted butter like so. And now we're just gonna give this a stir until it's combined, but like I said, you want to keep it kind of lumpy and bumpy. It's not supposed to be a paste. It should be, you know, kind of dry. That's actually what we're looking for. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this up. So don't overmix it, I guess is my point. Okay, so this is exactly what we're looking for. It's it's still pretty wet, but it's not in like a solid ball. It is moist, but you can still kind of break off pieces with your spoon. And so that lets you know it is good to go. So I'm gonna set this aside, and here I have a muffin pan that I've just sprayed with some non-stick spray lined with muffin liners. And to this, we're gonna add our batter. And I think the easiest way to do that is with an ice cream scoop, but you could obviously use a spoon. You wanna fill these about 3/4 of the way full, I mean. And so don't overmix them because they're gonna expand quite a bit while they bake. So I'm gonna keep filling these. And then once they're all full, what I'm gonna do is just take my streusel topping and a spoon, or you can use your hands, whatever you wanna do, clean hands of course, and just break up some of these pieces if you need. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this over the top, over every muffin. That's that simple. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Very, very simple, very, very easy. So I'm gonna continue lining these, filling these, and then I'm gonna bake these at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 22 minutes. You'll know when they're done if you insert a knife or a skewer into the center of the muffin and it comes out clean, or with a few crumbs. So I'm gonna bake these, and then I'm gonna give you a little close-up of just how moist and fluffy and delicious these muffins are. Okay, so these muffins baked for exactly 21 minutes in the oven. I took them out of the oven and let them sit at room temperature just to cool down a little bit. And keep in mind, these are the kind of muffins that get better as time goes on. Once the flavors kind of get a chance to mingle and get to know each other, the flavors just kind of get even more intense, and it just gets better as time goes on. So if you make these on a Sunday and maybe nibble on them throughout the week, they're only gonna get better. So that's something to look forward to. And I just absolutely love these. These are still pretty hot right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna take a bite. But make these muffins, I promise you're gonna love them. They're the perfect autumn, fall treat. And as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, moonymix.com. The link for that will be in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will pop right up. And make these pumpkin muffins. I promise you're gonna love them. And let me know what you think, because I would love to hear from you. So thank you, I'll see you next time, bye.